Okay, so every year the BBC hosts an award ceremony for the sports person who they regard to be most influential in a given year. Whether that be most popular or most talked about, you name it. Just the BBC Sports Personality of the Year. Um, it's been going since 1954. Just to give you a little bit of background, been going since 1954, and the idea was created by Paul Fox, who was editor of a magazine show called Sports View, and the first awards ceremony took place in 1954, presented by Peter Dimmock. That year, the first winner was Christopher Chataway of athletics, who beat Roger Bannister. Bannister's arguably more famous, but Christopher Chataway, 1955, was Gordon Pirrie. What I'm going to do is actually just go through the list, may as well, it won't take very long, of the winner and their respective sport, and then talk a little bit about this year. 1956, Jim Laker, cricket. 1957, Di Reese, golf. 1958, Ian Black for swimming. 1959, John Surtees for motor racing. 1960, David Broom, show jumping. 1961, Sterling Moss, Formula 1. 1962, Anita Lonsborough for swimming. 1963, Dorothy Hyman for athletics. 1964, Mary Rand for athletics. 1965, Tom Simpson for cycling. 1966, Bobby Moore for football. 1967, Henry Cooper for boxing. 1968, David Hemery for athletics. 1969, Ann Jones for tennis. 1970, Henry Cooper for boxing. Get a breath. 1971, Princess Anne for eventing, which, if you don't know, I think that involves equestrian sort of events. 1972, Mary Peters for athletics. 1973, Jackie Stewart for Formula 1. 1974, Brendan Foster for athletics. 1975, David Steele for cricket. 1976, John Curry for figure skating. 1977, Virginia Wade for tennis. 1978, Steve Ovett for athletics. 1979, Sebastian Coe for athletics. 1980, Robin Cousins for figure skating. 1981, Ian Botham for cricket. 1982, Daley Thompson for athletics. 1983, Steve Cram for athletics. 1984, Torvill and Dean for figure skating. They're among the most famous winners ever. 1985, Barry McGuigan for boxing. 1986, Nigel Mansell for Formula 1. 1987, Fatima Whitbread for athletics. 1988, Steve Davis for snooker. 1989, Nick Faldo for golf. 1990, Paul Gascoigne for football. 1991, Liz McColgan for athletics. 1992, Nigel Mansell for Formula 1. 1993, Linford Christie for athletics. 1994, Damon Hill for Formula 1. 1995, Jonathan Edwards for athletics. 1996, Damon Hill for Formula 1. 1997, Greg Rosetsky for tennis. 1998, Michael Owens for football. 1999, Lennox Lewis for boxing. 2000, Steve Redgrave for rowing. 2001, David Beckham for football. 2002, Paula Radcliffe for athletics. 2003, Johnny Wilkinson for rugby union. 2004, Kelly Holmes for athletics. 2005, Andrew Flintoff for cricket. 2006, Sarah Phillips for eventing. 2007, Joe Calzaghe for boxing. 2008, Chris Hoy for cycling. 2009, Ryan Giggs for football. 2010, Tony McCoy for horse racing. 2011, Mark Cavendish for cycling. 2012, Bradley Wiggins for cycling. 2013, Andy Murray for tennis. Now, the event is going on right now as I'm speaking. I'm not watching it because people in my house are watching something else, but they've let me know they'll keep me up to date with the results. But as you can see, it's a wide variety of people there. Although some sports do seem to do well, motor racing sports seem to do well, athletics seem to do well, Formula 1 seems to do quite well. So tonight, some of the people who have been nominated are Carl Froch, the boxer, and in fact, I'll just get the exact list here. Bear with me, please. as I say, this is an event that's held every year. Yeah, so Carl Froch is in there with a number of other people, such as, please excuse me, I'm actually taking this exactly from Froch's own Facebook page, so just trying to please excuse me. Okay, apologies, I can't seem to get the exact list in front of me right now, but some of the names include Carl Froch, Rory McIlroy, the golf player. Trying to get this up right now. Whilst I'm waiting for that, I'll just say that in previous years there have only been 4 boxers to win. That was Henry Cooper, Barry McGuigan, Joe Calzaghe, and Lennox Lewis. They're the only 4 boxers to win so far. So boxing's not Britain's most popular sport, although I would say it's in the top 10. It's being presented from the Hydro Arena in Glasgow this year. I'm not sure if that's every year.
All voting numbers are available to view on the red button, where there'll also be signs for sign language users.
What a night this promises to be. We hope you all enjoy the show both here and at home. So just sit back, relax.
Okay, so
Chill.
yeah, please excuse me for that. I'm usually a bit more prepared than this, but I just can't seem to find this in front of me. Anyway, instead of dwelling on that, I know that Rory McIlroy and Lewis Hamilton are among the others, and no disrespect to anyone who I haven't named. I am biased towards boxing, so of course I want Froch to win. It's not that I don't think the others deserve to win. I'm sure they've all done well in their respective sports. It's just that I know a lot more about boxing, and as a boxing fan, I obviously want my sport to do well. Why does Froch deserve it? Well, this guy won the biggest boxing match arguably in British history, in terms of the number of people who were there. That was Carl Froch versus George Groves 2 at Wembley earlier in the year. Now, those 2 guys, along with Eddie Hearn, the 3 of them are responsible for bringing boxing back into the forefront of popularity in this country. I mean, when you get a boxing match to have 80,000 people, 80,000 people, that's much bigger than an average football match, never mind a boxing match. Many world title fights get under 10,000 people. This wasn't even you know, this wasn't Mayweather Pacquiao. This was 2 British fighters who got a domestic crowd of 80,000 people. And given that Froch was the winner of that, and by the way, he won their first fight as well, somewhat under controversial circumstances, but nevertheless he won. For that reason, I think he should definitely be recognised. He is also one of Britain's greatest boxers ever, in my opinion. Not our greatest, I wouldn't go that far, but he is in our probably top 10, if not top 15. So for all those reasons, I think Froch should be recognised. Now, I appreciate that in every sport people will say the respective man or woman deserves recognition, and I don't want to take anything away from the other nominees. But I think Froch isn't just very good at what he does, he is a good role model. If you look at his ethics outside the ring, if you look at the sort of doctrine that he tries to get across in terms of discipline for young people, in terms of inspiring young people. I came across a comment the other night where a guy said that his children had been inspired to take up boxing because of Carl Froch. Now, very few fighters have that sort of appeal. He does. So I do think Froch stands out. And like I said, it's nothing against the other personalities, but Carl Froch is my nominee for BBC Sports Personality of the Year 2014. By the way, a few conditions. To win this award, people need to be British or resident. They also have a few other awards that have been introduced more recently, like Team of the Year, Overseas Personality of the Year, and so on. but the main focus is on the BBC Sports Personality. Last year, like I say, the winner was Andy Murray, the tennis player. Now, some people might ask about Barry McGuigan. Well, he is from the Republic of Ireland, but he got British citizenship, so that's why he won. And there is quite a good representation of English, Scottish, Welsh and Northern Irish. So I don't think it's biased at all towards any one of the home nations. I think they've got a very good balancing act going on there. Obviously there's more English people, but that's only because England has a bigger population. So overall I'd say it's good representation. So that's 4 winners: Andy Murray, Bradley Wiggins, Mark Cavendish and Tony McCoy. Okay, so I hope Carl Froch wins, and let me know your views if you're British, or even if you're not. Who do you think should win BBC Sports Personality of the Year? Just to be clear, this is not about international sports stars. This is specifically British, or people living in Britain who should get the most recognition. Who do you think? Let me know.